Hello dear ladies and gentlemen, this is Elisabeth from Fior della Spada, a club for historical fencing in Vienna, Austria. It's the beginning of December, Christmas is approaching. I know what all of you are probably thinking. Raise your hand if you get sick! You are probably asking yourself, what can I get my best HEMA buddy for Christmas? Don't you worry, I got you covered. Today I will talk about some little presents I got during the past years that made the little HEMAist or sword fighter within me completely happy. So maybe there's something among those things that you want for your best HEMA friend or maybe for yourself. I'd be also curious about ideas for presents coming from you guys, so if there's something that you can totally recommend, write it down into the comments so that everybody can see it. Let's work together to make every HEMAist happy this Christmas. The first ever HEMA present I got was a few years ago by my colleague Nicholl, and he had the brilliant idea to get me this. Okay, what is this? This is basically, it's a cold steel knife simulator made of gum or rubber. These are amazing, like I can totally recommend them to everybody. They're made of rubber, so even if you get a full thrust, it doesn't hurt as much. And you can play around a lot with these. You can also give them to beginners, for first sparring experiments and stuff. You can play around a lot with these. These make me so happy, so thank you Nicholl again. Now you will ask yourself, yeah, but I am a sword fighter, I'm doing HEMA, I use sabers and swords, what am I doing with a knife? Don't you worry. So Cold Steel has got also rubber simulators, not only for regular knives, but also for roundel daggers. So for those among you who do German sources, boring! You can take that, and there is also, and this is just genius, there's also a simulator that is very close to Bolognese pugnale, so Bolognese parrying dagger. And we got a pair of those and we need more. I decided we need more of them because they are so convenient and cool. You can play Psycho with these. Yeah, so that would be my first present idea for a HEMAist, sword fighter, martial artist, whatever. The next thing I got, I think a year ago or something, that I found was very cool, especially for someone like me who's into Bolognese fencing style, Renaissance, Italian Renaissance, and also I'm a big lover of comic books and graphic novels. I found this comic book, short story about Giovanni dalle bande nere. Some of you might know him, he's one of the most famous mercenaries of Italy. Some say the last real mercenary or condottiere that has been around. And this is a graphic novel based on his youth. If you know history, the whole comic book is already spoiled for you, but I found it was a really cool thing. Just, the fact that there are comic books about historical figures like him. The only disadvantage, as far as I know, it exists only in Italian. Maybe there are some of you who already speak Italian who want to learn a bit of Italian, and maybe a comic book would help you. I asked some of my colleagues in the club and they also gave me 2 recommendations for comics or graphic novels that are based on, let's say, Renaissance style or later rapier stuff and so on. The first one is, I think you pronounce it the Skorpion. In German would be der Skorpion. I know for sure it exists in French and in German. I'll put the link down below. And the other recommendation I got is also a comic book, but with animals, which I found to be very intriguing. And he said that he just loved the story of that. Link again down in the description. So that's it about comic books. Something else I got, and that started a whole thing, because after that we founded the Saber Academy Vienna, who is basically another club in Vienna that does, wait for it, lightsaber fencing. Lightsaber fencing has become a thing in the US, in France, also in Italy. Germany and Austria are slowly catching up, and you can get Stunt sabers, so sabers that are made for dueling. You can really use them to hit each other. I will put links down to the description again, and it's really fun. Like if you're a HEMAist, you get your gloves, get your fencing mask and a saber, and off you go. If you love Star Wars and science fiction, it's just amazing. You can have them also with sound to make the nerds happy. It's the only thing I would recommend taking a look at is if you really want to use it for sparring. So for real fighting, watch out for the hilts. If you just want to get a prop, like a saber similar to those in the movies because you just want to wear it at Comic-Con, it's fine, take whatever you like. If you want it for fighting, watch out for a hilt that is simple. The simpler, the better. Good grip also, I mean, we put this stuff on it. You can also take leather, but this is just plastic stuff that they put on tennis rackets, for example. It really helps with the grip. For everything else, take a look at the links down into the description, and if you happen to be in Vienna, why don't you check out the homepage of the Saber Academy Vienna, where we teach you how to fight with this. Last but not least, when I thought about what presents would be cool and what I got during the last years, something very old school maybe, or vintage. For the gamers among you, most of you probably know Assassin's Creed, and most of you probably also know about Assassin's Creed 2, which is situated in Florence, 16th century. I think the most awesome thing about this game is not the weapons, not the fighting, just put that aside. But if you love the history of Italy and you see what an amazing job they did in recreating Florence of that time, so Renaissance Florence, with the buildings, the streets, it gave me goosebumps the first times I played that. So I can totally recommend playing that for the history nerds among you and the Renaissance nerds among you. As I said in the beginning, I would be really curious about your suggestions. What would you give your best HEMA friends as a present, or what would you like to receive as a present? But apart from that, I hope you have wonderful holidays, and I hope to see you next year, hopefully with a little bit more time to make more elaborate videos than this one. Have a lot of fun in training, don't hurt yourself, enjoy the Christmas time, and see you next year in 2024.